Hello, friend. Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And I am here with a great couple. This is Kent and Lisa. And why don't the two of you introduce yourself and where you're from?
We're from Nashville, Tennessee. And this is my husband, Kent. And it's great to be here in Lake Chapala.
The interaction is always a good thing. Share with me, what was it that made you consider taking My Boots on the Ground Discovery Tour?
Okay. I'd watched countless videos that made yourself, Jim, as well as videos from other providers to learn as much as I could beforehand about the Lake Chapala area.
Okay.
And I learned a lot of information from those videos, but I also knew that you also get different impressions when you're actually in the place. So that's why we decided to do it. Watching other testimonials that you made with other people who have taken the tour gave me a good feeling of confidence in what we would get for the tour. I felt good about you. I felt that you were honest and trustworthy, and you had no other agenda other than helping people learn about the area and determine if it's the right place for them to live.
Good deal. Good deal. I appreciate you guys doing that. What were your biggest questions or biggest doubts or biggest fears before you took the tour?
I would say that I think we had a lot of questions about how it would really mean to live here in terms of access to health care, what that might mean, what our insurance needs were, what potentially long-term solutions we might need as my mother aged, and maybe potentially having a nursing home facility available for her. And all of those questions were addressed by our tour with Jim. We answered questions before we came, and he knew what we were looking for in terms of our needs and information, and was able to customize our experience to address those questions that we had. And we're walking away with confidence and information to take back to make the best decisions for us.
Wow, you're hired.
I might do this professionally sometimes, Jim. They always want to put me on camera when we're doing interviews.
What were you hoping to be able to accomplish with the tour?
A couple of things, actually, to determine if this is an area where we would want to live for the rest of our lives, and to determine other things like primarily healthcare. The cost of healthcare in the States is becoming so expensive, and it keeps going up every year. And so we wanted to learn for sure in detail about the cost of healthcare down here, how healthcare insurance works in this area. And we accomplished that with Jim's help. It was invaluable learning that information.
Okay. And with that, what part of the tour maybe not necessarily surprised you most, but did you feel like you got the most out of?
I think we were aware before we came through your videos that we may come with an expectation about what a neighborhood or an area might be. And then we see it and our opinion changes 180% because the pretty pictures we've seen online aren't necessarily the reality. And so for me, that was, although I knew intellectually that was a possibility, I just think that we were surprised by some of the areas we went to thinking that they were going to be like, yeah, that's probably where we're going to wind up. And yeah, no. So that was really invaluable information for us as we think about our future plans, to be able to be like, okay, with your guidance, this is likely a neighborhood we're going to consider versus where we began our experience.
Good.
Absolutely.
And I'm really glad that you found that valuable, because that's a big part of what this is all about, is sharing where you're going to live the rest of your life, So that's very important. How did it feel to be able to see Lake Chapala, Ajijic, Riberas, San Antonio, Jocotepec in person?
Well, it was a great experience. Again, you get one impression from watching videos, dash cam videos, walk around videos, riding bike videos through the area, and you get a...
How about Facebook?
oh yeah, there's all kinds of information on Facebook. And how good it is a different story. How accurate it is a different story. But yes, you don't really understand completely what it's like. You can get a sense from watching the videos, but you really don't understand exactly what it feels like until you're here and you feel the climate, which is just fabulous. And you get a sense of the space of the different areas. You get the size of the lake, the size of the communities, what Ajijic feels like, all the different towns, what they feel like. And to Lisa's point, we had an impression before we came here about which areas we thought we would, that would be the best fit for us. And lo and behold, after Jim takes us to those areas, those opinions have changed. And it's invaluable getting that information and getting a feel for it, boots on the ground, and determining, okay, that area I thought was a good place, it's really not good for us. But this other area over here, which I wasn't attracted to from watching videos, seeing it in person, again, it's 180 degrees difference in our opinion. It's like, okay, that is a great area. That's where we would like to be.
Yeah.
For us.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and I think it's also invaluable that we were able to be in the car and looking without also having to navigate and trying to drive and trying to figure things out on our own. It was invaluable to us to be able to be an observer on a tour and have that personal local knowledge, as well as being able to see it independently at the same time.
And that's why I normally drive.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I kind of learned in the beginning that was going to be a key point.
We definitely would have crashed if I was driving.
I'm glad that we didn't crash. What part of the tour do you feel gave you confidence, if in fact you decide to move to Mexico?
The first impression for me was getting to meet the people that you introduce us to, people that you have vetted yourself. And I learned so much from talking to the realtor and the insurance agent. Again, I just learned so much that I didn't know before I came down here about those areas.
Right.
And I have a great confidence in them, and we're very fortunate that we will be able to stay in touch with them after we return home and determine what our next course of action is.
Yeah, and we also met with the rental agent.
Yes.
And this morning we met with Mina.
Yep.
Yes.
And share this with me. How valuable is that to be able to talk to somebody that's possibly going to have an involvement in your family's life?
Well, I think it's invaluable for us to have that personal vetted contact that, not only have you had an experience with, but that we got to meet while we're here on the Boots on the Ground tour, and be able to have that personal interaction in order to be able to say, like, hey, remember when I stopped by and we saw, I'm thinking about this.
Right.
And so that follow-up and that personal connection is invaluable to us as we leave and think about our next steps.
Hey, good deal. Good deal. So, how did your perspective on living in a different country, obviously being Mexico, what do you take away from the fact of Mexico? You've seen a lot of other videos. You've seen videos of different areas in Mexico. But what is it about Lake Chapala that kind of draws you?
I think for me, the atmosphere and the climate is fantastic. That, of course, was a big driver in us thinking about this area. But if I compare it to other places we've been in Mexico, this really feels more of like a community versus a large city or too much going on. And that really fits well with our personalities. And it's what we've been looking for as we search for a retirement village, let's call it.
Okay. Okay. And what would you say to somebody who's basically on the fence about taking a tour?
I would say absolutely take the tour. Do not avoid taking the tour, because you will become aware of so many things from doing that you would be unable to glean if you're doing it on your own entirely. So I would say it's an absolute must. Jim, out of all of the people who provide tours in this area, which there are surprisingly a small number of people who even give tours. But some of the other people who give tours, they have an agenda of trying to sell you a house or a rental. Jim does not have that agenda. His only agenda is trying to help us learn about the areas, and and therefore we can choose the best area for ourselves.
For me, I walking away from this tour more educated, more informed, and coming from a place of knowledge and power now, having spent time with Jim, that I would not have been able to affect personally, and would have taken me a great deal of time and lots of trial and error before I found that information. So I'm grateful for our experience, because we now leave in a much better place in a condensed amount of time. So I can say nothing but you need to do it, and encourage you to take the tour.
That's one of the things I actually ask couples, that if you were to come and do this by yourself, could you have accomplished what we accomplished in 2 days?
No.
It might take a year.
It's impossible. I would have crashed.
How would you describe the value that you got from the tour? Was it worth every dime, and why?
I think we got home the first day, and he was already like, "This is paid for
It's
itself."
already paid for itself in the first day. Yes.
Just because we came away with so much incredible information and the personal connections to people here, and with confidence in them and their abilities to help us in this decision-making process.
So, would you recommend the experience to somebody else who's considering retiring in Mexico?
Absolutely.
100%, yes.
Okay, friends, so you see another neat couple that's come down looking at moving to Mexico and more or less moving to Lake Chapala. So as always, thank you so much for being a part of this channel, for supporting this community. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you on the next video.